So the first most basic step you will need for any or for most amigurumi projects is the magic ring. In this quick tutorial, I'll explain to you the easiest way I know to do it. So take your yarn, wrap it around 2 of your fingers, then bring it down and cross it at the bottom of your fingers. Just pinch it tightly with your thumb, and what I then do is just grab hold of that tail between your pinky and ring finger, and you'll take your hook, slide it underneath the first strand, grab hold of your second strand of yarn, and twist your hook when you bring the yarn through, so you'll have a little loop on your hook. Next, you yarn over, grabbing that yarn that your pinky and ring finger is holding, and you slide it through the ring, the little loop that you've got on your hook. And that's it. It's easy as that. For the next part, we'll be inserting 6 single crochet stitches into this magic ring we've just created. So you start by putting your hook through that circle and grabbing your yarn, pulling it back into your circle. You'll see you'll now have 2 loops on your hook. Then you yarn over and pull that yarn through both of the loops on your hook, and you've got your first single crochet. So for our pattern for the bear, we are asking for 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So you just continue making 5 more single crochets the same way. So insert your hook into the circle, grab your yarn, pull it through back into the circle, having now 2 loops on your hook. Then you'll yarn over and pull that yarn through both loops on your hook, and that is your single crochet. So once we have completed our 6 single crochets into the magic ring, we'll close our little ring by pulling your yarn tail just nice and tight. So just give it a nice tug, and that will close your magic ring, leaving no gaps in that circle of the first row that we've done. So in amigurumi, all of our shaping of our toys will be done through either increases or decreases. I will show you how to do an increase. An increase basically just means we're doing 2 stitches into the same stitch. So for most of our amigurumi, it'll be 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So you insert your hook through both of the loops of the stitch. Then you yarn over, pull your yarn through the stitch. You'll have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull your yarn through both of the loops on your hook. So that's your first stitch. Now into this same stitch you've just worked, you will do another single crochet. So back into that same stitch, insert your hook, pull your yarn through the stitch. You'll have 2 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull your yarn through both loops on your hook. And that's it. You've done an increase. So just anywhere you see an increase basically means 2 stitches into the same stitch. My favorite way to decrease in amigurumi is the invisible decrease, which I will show you here. A decrease just means that you will be making 2 stitches into 1 stitch. So you're reducing the amount of stitches you have in a row. So for the invisible decrease, you're working into the front loops of your stitches. So where an increase or a regular stitch, you work through both loops. The invisible decrease, we're only going to use the front loop of the stitch. So you will take your hook and insert it into the front loop of the first stitch. Then just turn your hook back into the front loop of the second stitch, so the stitch right next to the one you've worked. Then you yarn over and you pull your yarn through those 2 front loops. You'll end up having 2 loops on your hook, and you'll just complete your regular single crochet stitch, meaning you'll yarn over and pulling your yarn through both loops on your hook. So now where you would have had 2 stitches before, you've now got 1 stitch. The last stitch I'm going to show you is the double crochet, which we will need to make the ears of our little bee. So for a double crochet, you start by yarning over. So to begin with, you will have 2 loops on your hook. So a single crochet, you will just insert your hook and continue with your stitch. Double crochet, you start by yarning over and having 2 loops on your hook. Then you insert your hook into your stitch, grab your yarn, pull it through the stitch. You'll now have 3 loops on your hook. Then you will yarn over, pulling your yarn through the first 2 loops on your hook, and you'll end up with 2 loops on your hook. Now we're completing the stitch by yarning over and pulling through those 2 loops.